My 18th birthday was the most unforgettable day of my life. My parents were always overseas, deep in pharmaceutical research. They rarely came home. My eldest sister Su Qingyuan and second sister Su Wan raised me. They took care of everything: food, clothes, school, every little thing. I always believed that no matter what happened, these two sisters and this home would be my shelter. That belief shattered the moment they walked through the door. Behind them stood a 7-year-old boy I'd never seen before. His name was Lin Nuo. Second sister Su Wan saw my confusion and explained softly. He was the orphan of a student our parents once sponsored. His parents died suddenly, and no one else could take him in. They discussed it and decided to adopt him. Keep him with us. I pushed down the strange unease in my chest. I told myself to accept this new family member. My sisters were just kind-hearted, not trying to push me aside. If I stayed patient and gave way, things would stay the same. Reality hit me hard. Fast. Lin Nuo barely stepped inside before his eyes started scanning everything. No shyness. No hesitation. He ran around the living room like he owned it. Then he raised his hand and swept our parents' framed photo off the TV cabinet. The glass frame shattered on the floor. The sharp crack cut through the warm birthday atmosphere. That photo was one of the few personal things my parents left me. It was precious to me. All my pent-up frustration and anger surged. I stepped forward, my voice cold. Stay away from these things. Don't touch them. It was just a warning. They used it as an excuse to attack me. Eldest sister Su Qingyuan's face went dark. She rushed at me without a word. A sharp slap landed on my left cheek. The force snapped my head to the side. My cheek burned instantly. I stared in disbelief at the sister who used to love me most. She used to give me the best of everything, protect me from everything. Now there was no care in her eyes, just cold impatience and blame. It's just a stupid photo frame. No need to be so aggressive. Lin Nuo is just a kid. He doesn't know better. Can't you cut him some slack? Before I could say a word, second sister Su Wan cut in. Her voice was hard. No room for negotiation. Xinyan, if you can't accept Lin Nuo, if you can't make room for him, then pack your things and move out. And don't ever come back. I stared at the two sisters I'd known my whole life. Then I looked at Lin Nuo, shrinking in the corner, pretending to be scared. I saw it clearly, the smug satisfaction hidden in his downcast eyes. In that moment, years of warmth crumbled inside me. I didn't argue, didn't defend myself, didn't scream or question. There's no point explaining to people who've already decided you're wrong. I turned silently, walked upstairs, and opened my closet. A few clothes, basic toiletries, that was all I had. Su Qingyuan watched me pack and snorted. Who are you trying to impress with this tantrum? Let's see how long you last. You'll come crawling back once you cool down. You always do. Su Wan gently soothed Lin Nuo and chimed in. Let him cool off for a few days. He's always been like this. They assumed I was just throwing a childish fit. No one saw the emptiness in my eyes. No one noticed my heart had gone cold. I dragged my suitcase to the front door. A tiny part of me still hoped. I waited for them to call me back, to say something soft. But all their attention, all their warmth, was on Lin Nuo. They cooed over the frightened little boy, gentle and doting. Not a single glance my way. Not one word of concern. The evening wind blew in through the open door. It swept away the last of my attachment. I pulled out my phone and stared at the email I'd just received. A top-tier 15-year closed-door medical research project was now recruiting. Selected candidates would be fully isolated for 15 years. Almost no contact with the outside world. No turning back. It was an incredibly hard path, but one that could change everything. It was also my only way out of this cold, suffocating place. I looked back at the warm, bright lights inside the house. They felt warm, but they stung my eyes. I made my decision right there, in my heart. From now on, I wouldn't fight for any of their love or favor. They could give it to whoever they wanted. It had nothing to do with me anymore. A few days later, I found out they'd already booked flights to Northern Europe. They were taking Lin Nuo to see the auroras. The auroras I'd dreamed about for years. The family trip we'd promised each other when we were young. A long-held promise, fulfilled with someone else in my place. They remembered everything I loved. Everything I'd always wanted to see. But they'd forgotten me entirely. They had no idea I'd already submitted all my application materials. 15 years of isolation were about to begin. That slap didn't just ruin my 18th birthday. It shattered more than a decade of sibling bonds. It crushed all my hopes. I stopped expecting their love. Stopped hoping for understanding. All I wanted now was a proper goodbye to my past. Only 7 days left before I entered the research institute. My advisor reminded me, use this time to say goodbye to the people who matter to you. On the night of the Lantern Festival, the streets smelled of sweet rice dumplings. I stood on a street corner, hesitating for a long time. Then I called Suwon. The line rang and rang. Once, twice, she hung up on me repeatedly. The third time I called, her phone was off. My fingers went stiff. I swallowed the bitterness rising in my throat. I called Su Qingyuan instead. The long ringing sound wore down my patience. Just as I was about to give up, she picked up. Her voice was annoyed. Like answering me was a huge burden. What is it? I'm busy watching Lin Nuo. No time to chat. Today is the Lantern Festival, I said. I deliberately slowed down, afraid she'd hang up. The housekeeper went home for the holiday. No one's cooking here. I'll come back and make sweet dumplings. Strawberry filling, Lin Nuo's favorite. Let's have dinner together. I held on to that last thread of hope. I was trying to make things better. I knew this was my last real chance to talk to them. Forget dinner, Su Qingyuan said coldly. Lin Nuo fell and got hurt. He's in the hospital right now. All because you upset him during that argument last time. And you're thinking about a holiday meal? My heart dropped. I gripped my phone and kept my voice steady. If you can't come home, I'll make the dumplings and bring them to the hospital. We can have a simple meal there. In the past, I would never have lowered myself like this. These past few years, because of Lin Nuo, I'd fought with my sisters countless times. Even at the worst of it, I never backed down first. But this time was different. 15 years of isolation lay ahead. I had no idea if I'd ever see them again. There was a long silence on the other end. Then a small voice piped up. Brother's strawberry dumplings are really good. It was Lin Nuo. I jumped on the chance. I'll go get the ingredients right now. I'll bring them as soon as they're ready. Before Su Qingyuan could refuse, I hung up. After the call, the cold wind stung my eyes. I bought ingredients nearby, rushed back to my temporary place, and cooked the dumplings quickly. I packed them in a thermos and drove to the hospital. The hospital room was small. A tiny table barely fit 3 people. I walked in with the food container. Su Qingyuan glanced at me. Still cold. I didn't want to intrude. I took a small bowl and stood by the window. Alone in the corner, by the bed, Suwon put a cushion behind Lin Nuo. Su Qingyuan carefully filled his bowl and handed him a spoon. Lin Nuo gulped down the dumplings eagerly. He coughed from eating too fast. Su Qingyuan immediately got him water. Suwon patted his back gently. She scolded him softly, but her voice was full of affection. Slow down. No one's going to take it from you. The scene was painfully familiar. A long time ago, I was the one in Lin Nuo's place. I stared too long and couldn't look away in time. Su Qingyuan finished handing him the water and caught my gaze. She looked up. The softness in her eyes vanished in an instant. Cold frost filled her expression. A sharp pain stabbed through my chest. I looked down quickly and ate my dumplings in silence. The sweet filling stuck in my throat and made me cough violently. Do you need some water? Su Qingyuan asked. Her voice was empty, formal, like I was a stranger. I choked down the cough and shook my head. The room quickly returned to its warm, cozy atmosphere. I was just a bystander, irrelevant. After swallowing his food, Lin Nuo perked up. In Chinese class last week we learned about auroras. The teacher said you can see them in Northern Europe in winter. I want to go see them when I grow up. Su Qingyuan ruffled his hair. Why wait till you're grown? We'll book tickets by the end of the year and take you. Suwon chimed in. We'll both have time off then. A trip would be good for everyone. My fingers trembled involuntarily. Everyone in their plan didn't include me. In just a few minutes, they'd already settled on flights. Lin Nuo cheered excitedly. Then he turned to me and asked innocently, Brother, do you want to come to Norway with us to see the auroras? I was about to tell them I was leaving for 15 years. But Su Qingyuan cut me off impatiently. Don't bother telling him. Our plans don't concern him. I paused, then spoke softly. I'll be leaving for a long time soon. Maybe I won't come back for many years. No need to report that to us, Su Qingyuan said flatly. I took a breath and said, after Lin Nuo gets out of the hospital, I'll give him my room. It's too much trouble to keep moving back and forth. I don't stay at home much anymore anyway. The room went quiet. Su Qingyuan stared at me, shocked. Suwon frowned and sneered. Don't pretend to be generous. We know how you are. Stop throwing a tantrum. I didn't argue. I just looked at them calmly. Lin No yawned and asked Su Qingyuan to read him a bedtime story. She helped him lie down and opened a book. Reading softly, I quietly picked up my backpack from the chair. My throat felt dry and tight. I'm leaving now. No one answered. Su Wan cleared the table quietly. Su Qingyuan was absorbed in the story, eyes fixed on the page. I walked slowly toward the door. As I passed her, she never looked up. Outside the door, the clear reading voice drifted out. And so, the prince was banished from his home. Memories flooded back. Years ago, after a fire destroyed the lab and our parents died, Su Qingyuan held me tightly as I sobbed. She promised, trembling, that as long as she and Su Wang were there, I'd always have a home. Those promises meant nothing now. I didn't stay. I drove away from the hospital and back to the school lab. Only 7 days left. I had to finish all my academic work, completely erase every trace of myself from this city. I stayed up all night finishing my lab data. I slept only 2 hours. Then I went back to the villa to pack my personal things. The master bedroom was mine for over a decade. It was filled with memories of my entire childhood, and the only heirlooms my parents left me. The housekeeper helped me fold clothes, muttering in frustration, "Sir, this house belongs to you. Why should you give up your room to an outsider? They're so unfair to you." I packed books into a box, my voice calm. "It's fine. I'm not coming back. It doesn't matter where I stay. I'd let go of all that. 15 years of isolation was ahead of me. Everything in this city would be cut off from me anyway." As I finished speaking, I heard cold footsteps behind me. I turned around. Su Qingyuan and Su Wan stood at the bedroom door, watching me. They stared at my bags scattered across the floor. Lin Nua hid behind them, peeking in. His eyes gleamed with barely hidden glee and anticipation. Su Qingyuan's gaze landed on my luggage. "What are you packing for? You're really running away?" "I promised to give Lin Nua my room," I said calmly. "I'm moving to the school dormitory." Su Qingyuan's face darkened. "Don't use this to punish us, just because of that little argument the other day. You're cutting us off completely? You pushed Lin Nua down the stairs and hurt him. How could we let you stay in the same house with him?" Her words chilled me to the bone. During that argument, yes, I lost my temper, but I reached out to grab him the moment he started to fall. He used my grip to throw himself down, and blamed me. They never believed a word I said. I looked at her and spoke slowly, clearly. "I'm not punishing you. I'm not throwing a tantrum. I'm moving out so I don't cause you any more trouble. I won't come back and bother you again." Su Wan sneered. "Don't act all wounded and noble. Leave if you want. No one's stopping you. No one's begging you to stay." Lin Noa put on a guilty look and muttered, "Brother, I'm sorry. It's all my fault. Please don't be angry. Okay?" His acting was clumsy but convincing. To my sisters, he just looked sweet and well-behaved. I didn't bother explaining anymore. I kept packing. In this house, my words were always useless. There were too many memories from over 20 years. I couldn't take everything. I only packed the essentials. And my parents' heirlooms. 2 suitcases, packed full. When I finished, I pulled them downstairs. At the door, Su Qingyuan's sneer hit me from behind. "After all these years of tantrums, you're finally actually leaving. Fine. Have some backbone for once. Once you're gone, don't come crawling back." Su Wan echoed her, her voice ice cold. "From today on, anyone who opens this door for you can get out too." That was the moment every last shred of hope died. Rain was pouring outside. Heavy drops slammed onto the ground. I didn't bother looking for an umbrella. I dragged my heavy suitcases into the downpour. Cold rain soaked through my clothes instantly. It dripped from my hair, blurring my vision. The scrapes on my hand from dragging the luggage stung in the rain, but that pain was nothing compared to the cold in my chest. Light footsteps came from behind. Lin Noa ran out after me. He put on a fake, exaggerated crying voice. "Brother, don't go. I promise I won't make you mad anymore." Su Qingyuan rushed after him, full of worry. "You ran out in this rain? What if you get sick? Get back inside." Su Wan followed and ordered the housekeeper, "Make Lin Noa some ginger tea right away." In the storm, all their tenderness, worry, and love were for the outsider. I, the brother who'd been with them for over 20 years, was shoved out into the rain and discarded like trash. Days of no sleep and the soaking rain took their toll. My vision blurred. My legs buckled. I was about to collapse. Just then, a firm arm caught my shoulder. It was Jiang Mei. an older classmate from the same department. She was also part of the 15-year medical project. She'd driven through the storm to find me. Without a word, she grabbed my suitcases and threw them in her trunk. She ignored the three people behind us completely. Xinyan, get in. Jiang Mei's voice was tight with anger. Before I could say anything, she shoved me into the passenger seat. Behind me, Su Qingyuan's face twisted. Her voice dripped with sarcasm and resentment. So you already found yourself a new patron. That's why you're so tough all of a sudden. Jiang Mei rolled down the window and shot back. She respected you like a real sister for over a decade. You favored a foster child and treated her like dirt. And you have the nerve to mock her? You don't deserve to be her family. Su Qingyuan's face went pale. She lunged forward to yank the door open. Mind your own business. Xinyan, get out of the car. Jiang Mei was ready. She locked all the doors instantly. Through the rain-streaked window, I saw Su Qingyuan's face, a mix of anger, frustration, and a flicker of panic. Even she didn't seem to notice. But I didn't care anymore. I closed my eyes and cut the last thread connecting me to them. The car pulled away from the villa. In the rearview mirror, Su Qingyuan stood frozen. Jiang Mei drove and let out a soft sigh. You're so talented. You've got everything: family background, natural gifts. Why do you keep hurting yourself over them? I watched the rain pour outside and spoke quietly. They used to really love me, but that had changed. The warmth and favor from those early years couldn't compete with a crafty outsider. Couldn't compete with repeated prejudice and suspicion. Everything that happened before, it ended here. The day after I moved into the dorm, I pulled myself together. I threw myself into finishing my thesis. 6 months of work. It was my best achievement in 4 years of college. It would be my final mark before joining the 15-year project. That afternoon, Jiang Mei and I went to the library for references. We found a spot and sat down. Soon after, familiar footsteps approached. Su Qingyuan and Su Wan walked in with Lin No. Su Qingyuan was now the youngest associate professor on campus. She often came to the library. I'd gotten used to running into them. I didn't look up. I avoided eye contact. My fingers flew across the keyboard. I focused on polishing my data. I just wanted to get through my last few days peacefully. But Lin No wasn't going to let me be. He slipped away from Su Wan and skipped over to the table next to mine. He kept glancing at my screen. He chattered nonstop. The noise broke the library's silence. Su Qingyuan hushed him lightly. Since they were in public, she didn't really stop him. Su Wan just let him do whatever he wanted. I ignored them completely. I focused on finalizing my draft. I checked all data, charts, references. Everything was correct. I let out a breath and went to the break room for water. I was gone for only 2 minutes. When I came back and sat down, my heart dropped. My thesis document was completely empty. All data, all charts, thousands of words, all gone. In the center of the blank page was a smiley face made of symbols. It was glaring and ridiculous. I turned sharply to look at Lin Nua. His hand was still on my mouse. When he saw me look, he immediately went limp. He collapsed to the floor, bumping his forehead on the chair. His eyes reddened instantly. He burst into loud sobs. The noise drew everyone's attention. Brother, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I just wanted to see your computer. His crying echoed through the whole reading area. All the students turned to stare at me. Su Qingyuan and Su Wan rushed over. No questions. No investigation. Su Qingyuan stepped in front of Lin Noel, her eyes cold on me. Xinyan, are you bullying him again? He's just a kid playing around. Did you have to scare him like that? Su Wan crouched to help Lin No up. She saw his red eyes and her face went dark. Can't you control your temper? Lin Noel's health is fragile. You're always so harsh with him. All eyes were on me. Silent accusations. Automatic bias. They surrounded me completely. In the past, I would have argued. I'd have presented evidence, exposed his lies, screamed at them until I was hoarse. But now, it just felt ridiculous. 4 years of arguments, countless misunderstandings, countless explanations ignored. I had nothing left. Jiang Mei hurried over with her books. When she saw my screen, she understood instantly. She spoke up in my defense. Teacher, look at the document history. The thesis was deliberately deleted and cleared. This is a malicious prank. Xinyan wasn't even here. How is this her fault? Su Qingyuan glanced at the smiley face. No guilt. No remorse. She just frowned slightly. It's just a thesis. He's little and doesn't know better. You don't need to make a big deal of it. That one sentence erased 6 months of my hard work. I looked at the two of them, twisting reality in front of me. I looked at Lin Noel, pretending to cry while his eyes gleamed with triumph. The last faint warmth inside me went out. I closed my laptop calmly. No arguments, no defense. I didn't even glance at them. I'm leaving. I grabbed my laptop and walked away. But Su Qingyuan caught up. Her voice was edgy, almost anxious. This thesis is important for your graduation. I'll give you a week. I'll help you get resources to recover it. I kept walking. No need. I don't have time. Only a few days left. I was about to leave this city forever. A thesis didn't matter anymore. Su Qingyuan had never seen me so cold and distant. She paused, then quickened her pace and grabbed my arm. Qinyan, what's going on with you? Why are you acting so strange lately? Her touch made me feel nothing but distance. I gently pulled my arm free. Just then, Su Wan stepped forward and blocked the elevator. She looked at my laptop, her voice softer, almost apologetic. Give me the computer. I studied computer science. I can recover the file. It won't take long. I looked up. I saw a flash of guilt in her eyes. For a moment, something stirred in me. All these years, Su Wan had been gentler than Su Qingyuan. She rarely yelled at me. She usually just followed Su Qingyuan's lead. She was the one faint hope I still held. But her next words crushed that hope. Lin Na is too young to know right from wrong. Even if he did delete it, he didn't mean it. Don't take it to heart. Don't hold a grudge against him. Of course, their favoritism never cared about right or wrong. It just cared about who was on the other side. All her gentleness came with conditions: that I give way, that I forgive, that I accept everything. I looked at her, and the last bit of hope died. I didn't say a word. I pressed the elevator close button. The doors slid shut, cutting off their figures, and cutting off the final tie between me and this family. Outside, I heard Su Wan's flustered voice. She seemed to try to stop the doors, but she was too late. Standing in the elevator, I felt nothing, completely hollow. All the fights, the hurt, the hoping, it was finally over. From now on, I wouldn't fight for who was right. I wouldn't beg for their love. I wouldn't hope for them to turn back. Only 3 days remained before I entered the research institute. All my school paperwork was done, project paperwork filed, all my personal belongings cleared and packed. I was fully ready for 15 years of isolation. That evening, Su Qingyuan sent me a message. She asked me to come back to the old house for one last family dinner. I almost refused outright. I wanted to sever every connection for good, but my finger hovered over the screen. This would be my final meal in this city, my last goodbye to over 20 years of family ties. I decided to go with dignity and close the chapter properly. At 6 in the evening, I put on clean clothes and arrived at the villa. The moment I walked in, the house felt warm and welcoming. Soft lighting. The table was filled with dishes I used to love: sweet and sour ribs, steamed sea bass, soft lotus seed soup, all recipes my sisters had learned to cook just for me. For a moment, I felt like I was young again, carefree. Su Qingyuan was in the kitchen in her apron. Her expression was soft, her voice kind. You're here. Sit down. Food will be ready soon. Su Wan set out bowls and chopsticks. She looked up at me with familiar warmth. I know you've been busy with school and your project. I made all your favorites. You need a good meal. Lin Noa sat quietly at the table. No smugness, no defiance. He just kept his head down and fiddled with his utensils. The picture of a well-behaved child. The rare warmth in that room almost made me believe nothing had changed. I pushed down the feelings, sat down, and said nothing. I knew this warmth was temporary, an illusion they'd created. Halfway through the meal, the mood grew even softer. Su Qingyuan served me food and spoke with nostalgia. Remember when we promised that when you grew up, we'd all go see the auroras together? That was always your dream trip. I looked up and waited for what came next. Sure enough, she changed the subject smoothly. I heard you've been working with Jiangmei. You're joining some top medical research team? Is there a chance you'll go to Northern Europe for exchanges? I understood immediately. All this effort, the warm dinner, my favorite foods, the childhood memories, was never about guilt or making amends. They just wanted to pry into my plans, find out everything they could. Su Wan joined in, following her lead. Is your team a top-level opportunity? Could you take Lin No along to broaden his horizons? He's always loved medicine. Maybe he could follow in your footsteps. Lin No perked up immediately. His eyes sparkled as he put on a pleading voice. Brother, I want to see the auroras too. I want to see the world with you. Okay? My fingers tightened around my bowl. Whatever warmth I'd felt dissipated completely. All this tenderness. All these memories. All this talk of reconciliation. It was all a calculated game. They'd never cared about the hurt I'd endured. Never once considered how broken I was inside. I looked at the three of them, all playing their roles. My voice was flat, emotionless. My project is fully enclosed. No visitors. No outside exchanges. No way to bring anyone along. Su Qingyuan's hand stopped mid-air as she served food. The warmth in her eyes vanished, replaced by irritation. We're family. We help each other. Just taking your little brother to see something new. Why are you being so secretive? Family? I repeated. The word tasted bitter. My 18th birthday. You slapped me in public and threw me out. 6 months of my thesis work, deleted, and you took his side without asking. I left in the rain. You only worried about him. Never once asked if I was okay. I said it all without anger, without excitement. Just pure, quiet release. The moment you chose him over me, we stopped being a family. Su Wan's face went rigid. Xinyan, we made mistakes. We were wrong, but we've always had you in our hearts. This dinner is our way of making things right. No, I cut her off. I didn't need fake reconciliation. Cheap apologies meant nothing to me now. Su Qingyuan's face hardened completely. The fake warmth vanished, leaving only her old coldness. So you've been holding a grudge this whole time? Over small things? You resent us for over a decade of raising you? I remember your care, I said frankly, but I also remember your bias, your misunderstandings, your cruelty, your coldness. The good cancels out the bad. We owe each other nothing. Lin Nua, seeing the tension, quickly put on his act. His eyes reddened, his voice pathetic. Brother, it's all my fault. Please don't be mad at my sisters. Please don't be angry. I watched his performance with no reaction. It was just tiresome now. I put down my chopsticks and stood up slowly. This is the last time I set foot in this house. From today on, I have nothing to do with the Su family. Su Qingyuan shot to her feet. Her face was full of disbelief and rage at being defied. Xinyan, are you really going that far? Over some arguments? You'll cut off your own family? You gave up on me first. I said those words and walked out the door without looking back. The warm lights, the feast, the fake care, all left behind. This stage dinner ended in a final break. I closed every door behind me. I waited the 3 days until I left for my 15-year new beginning. The day I left for the National Top Secret Research Institute. The city was clear and bright. A research vehicle arrived promptly at my building. It was fully enclosed. No signals, no outside networks, no visitation. Once I went in, it was 15 years of complete isolation. I had no regrets. I grabbed my small bag and got in. The second the car started, I pulled out my phone. I blocked every contact for Su Qingyuan, Su Wan, and Lin Nua. I deleted all my social apps. I wiped every trace of myself from the outside world. From this moment on, Xinyan, the young master of the Su family, no longer existed. Only researcher Xinyan, dedicated to top-level medical science. The car drove out of the city, into mountains surrounding the secret facility. After layers of security, I handed over all personal devices. I signed the 15-year isolation agreement. I stepped into a brand new chapter of my life. Inside, everything was orderly. All the researchers were top-tier medical talents from across the country. Everyone gave it their all, working on a major national medical project. No drama, no favoritism, no fake affection or manipulation. It was pure, focused, and driven. It was truly my sanctuary. I adapted quickly and dove into the work. I threw myself into experiments, data, and problem solving. All the old conflicts, the outside world, they meant nothing now. During the years I was gone, the Su family's life went on. Their planned Aurora trip went ahead as scheduled. Su Qingyuan and Su Wan took time off work. They took Lin Nua to Norway. They visited every place I'd once told them about. They stayed in the seaside cabins I'd always dreamed of. They walked every corner I'd yearned to see. The whole trip, they never once mentioned my name. They pretended I had never existed. At first, they had a wonderful time. They took photos, played with Lin Nua, bought souvenirs. All their love and attention poured onto him. Lin Nua was sweet and charming. He won them over with his words. They felt even more certain that adopting him was the right choice. But on the fourth night, things changed. Late at night, the sky exploded with auroras. Green and purple lights danced across the sky. Breathtaking. Tourists stopped to take photos and cheer. Su Qingyuan held Lin Nuo's hand on the viewing deck. She was about to take out her phone when she overheard two Chinese women talking nearby. The aurora is so beautiful. Remember that child genius Xinyan who went viral online? What a shame. I heard he disappeared completely to focus on medical research. No one's seen him since. I remember him. He published a top paper at 18. His talent was unmatched. But he was stubborn. He cut off his family and left alone. Never went back. The two casual remarks hit Su Qingyuan like a blow. She froze. Her phone slipped and fell into the snow. Xinyan. The name they'd deliberately buried. Deliberately forgotten. It crashed into her mind, bringing every ignored detail with it. In that moment, it hit her. The auroras they were admiring, they were always my obsession. My one childhood wish. They'd broken our promise and brought someone else to take my place. They'd seen what I'd longed for my entire life. Beside her, Su Wan's smile froze. She went cold all over. All their laughter, their ease, their joy over the past days. It suddenly felt like a cruel joke. They thought it was a healing trip, a break from their troubles. But it was just a selfish, cruel celebration, with me replaced. And Lin Nuo, the well-behaved child at their side, under the glow of the aurora, finally showed his true face. No sweetness, no fear, just sly triumph, a deep smirk of satisfaction. He turned to look at his two stunned sisters. His voice was quiet, but every word cut deep. See, sisters? Aren't we happier without Xinyan? He was never supposed to be in the way. From now on, it's just me. In that instant, the mask shattered. Su Qingyuan shook violently. She stared at the child before her in disbelief. All those years of sweetness, of apologies, of innocence, all of it was an act. He'd provoked, schemed, lied, and pretended, again and again. It had all been deliberate. They'd been blind. They'd believed the act. They'd pushed away a brother who truly loved them, and taken in a wolf in sheep's clothing. Overwhelming regret and terror washed over Su Qingyuan. Her chest tightened, so painful she could barely breathe. Su Wan's legs gave out. She stumbled back, staring at the brilliant sky. Tears flooded her eyes. All my coldness, my distance, my silence, were never tantrums or stubbornness. I'd been truly broken. I'd truly given them up. The aurora was still dazzling, but the view in their eyes had turned barren. What they thought would be a happy trip became a cruel punishment. Standing in the landscape of my dreams, they finally saw what they'd ruined. They finally saw Lin Nuo for what he was. But it was far too late. Deep in the mountain research facility, I knew nothing of the turmoil outside. I was buried in complex experimental data. My focus never wavered. Steady, forward progress, heading toward the goal of 15 years. The regrets and panics of the old days could no longer touch me. 15 years, to the outside world. It was long and torturous. Inside the closed facility, it passed in a blink. Over those years, I shed my past identity completely. Day in, day out, I worked at the front lines of medical science. Through countless all-night experiments, solved one world-class problem after another. The once young boy became a seasoned chief researcher. I completed the research my parents had never finished. Earned multiple national awards. Became a recognized leader in my field. The 15-year secret project was completed. The facility reopened. I was free to come and go. I stepped out of the mountain compound for the first time in 15 years. I was no longer the naive, hopeful teenager. I was calm, composed, and poised. Years of study and discipline had given me a quiet, assured presence. News of my return spread fast through professional circles, and quickly reached the Su sisters. In these 15 years, the Su family had fallen apart. After that trip, once they saw Lin Nuo's true nature, Su Qingyuan and Su Wan lived in endless regret. They'd thrown away a devoted brother. They'd let an outsider destroy their family. And now, every day was a slow punishment. Lin Nuo, with his act exposed, stopped pretending. He was arrogant, spoiled, and reckless. He spent money wildly, threw tantrums constantly. His selfish, greedy true nature showed through. The sisters regretted everything. Countless nights, they'd go through old photos, looking at pictures of me growing up, reliving every memory. The slap on my 18th birthday, the deleted thesis, the rain-soaked night I was cast out, the fake reconciliation dinner. Every moment was a knife in their hearts. They searched desperately for me, but I'd cut all contact. 15 years without a single word. They never had a chance to apologize. When they heard I was back, Su Qingyuan and Su Wan dropped everything. They drove to my apartment and waited. From morning till dusk. 15 years had aged them. New lines on their faces. Weariness in their eyes. The old arrogance and cruelty were gone. Only anxiety and regret remained. That evening, I walked out of the lobby. Simple, clean suit, tall and composed. The calm, steady presence of a top researcher. No trace of the boy who'd once been hurt. Who'd hoped and waited. When they saw me, both women broke down. Su Qingyuan stumbled forward. Voice cracked and raw. "Ah Yen, you're finally home." That old nickname, after 15 years, felt ridiculous. My face was calm. No emotion. No coldness. But no warmth either. I looked at them like they were strangers. Su Wan wiped her tears and spoke, her voice trembling. Her posture was low. Nothing like her old cold arrogance. "Ah Yen, I'm sorry. 15 years ago. We were wrong. We were blind. We misunderstood you. We failed you. These 15 years. Not a day went by without regret. We know we messed up. Can you forgive us? Come home?" Su Qingyuan followed, eyes red and pleading. "Your room is still there. Nothing's changed. We've been waiting for you every day. We were terrible sisters. We shouldn't have taken his side. We shouldn't have pushed you away. Please, give us one more chance?" They apologized and begged, pouring out 15 years of guilt. The old me might have softened, might have given in, might have forgiven, but 15 years of isolation had washed away all that. All the love, the hope, the pain, it had faded completely in that long silence. I listened quietly. My expression never changed. When they finally settled, I spoke. My voice was steady, calm, and distant. "I don't blame you, and I don't forgive you." Su Qingyuan froze, then pressed eagerly. "Then let's be a family again. Okay? We'll make it up to you. We'll do better." I shook my head gently. My words were final. No room for negotiation. The moment you chose to abandon me 15 years ago, our family bond was already broken. I kept a home for you for over a decade. You threw me out. I held on to my dreams for years. You crushed them. I've repaid all debts. I never asked for anything back. Now I've built my own life. My future is clear. From now on, we're strangers. Su Wan burst into tears and reached for my hand. I stepped back, avoiding her touch. "Ah Yen, we're your only sisters. Blood ties can't just be cut like that. Blood ties are real," I said, meeting her eyes. "So were your preferences. They were real too. Your love was too cheap. I don't need it anymore. 15 years ago, I begged and hoped. They ignored me and stepped on me. Now they finally understood, and begged me back. But I'd moved on. I didn't need closure. Karma had its way. That was fair." I watched them collapse. Crying, broken. I felt no satisfaction. Just peace. Old attachments, finally let go. I turned and walked into the apartment. My back straight, my step firm. I never looked back. Behind me, 15 years of regret. Ahead of me, a brand new, bright future. The moment I disappeared into the lobby, Su Qingyuan and Su Wan completely fell apart. All their pride, their dignity, gone. They sat on the curb, sobbing, hopeless. They'd waited all day, and gotten not a second chance, but a final, permanent end. But that was just the start of their suffering. Up in my apartment, the city lights glittered outside. 15 years of isolation were over. I held multiple national patents. I was now chief mentor at the National Medical Research Center. Fame, success, status, all mine. I'd reached the top. I was no longer the boy who craved approval or begged for love. I was clear, strong, and independent. I didn't need anyone's favor or rescue. The Su family, however, had crashed into ruin. Lin Noa was the first to fall. 15 years of limitless indulgence and protection had turned him into a selfish, lazy, calculating brat. No real skills, just deceit and shortcuts. With me gone as his target, he went wild. Skipping class, fighting, cheating in school. He used the Su sisters' status to bully others, caused trouble constantly. In the past, the sisters cleaned up after him. But now, consumed by regret, they were too drained to cover for him. In the college entrance exam, his cheating was exposed. He was disqualified. His academic future ended. Without school, he fell into bad company. He blew through money, wasting most of the family's savings in half a year. Worse, he embezzled Su Qingyuan's research funds. The university found out. Her teaching credentials were revoked. The once promising youngest associate professor lost everything in one day. Her career was over. Su Qingyuan broke down completely. She screamed at Lin Nuo. "We gave you everything for 15 years. We protected you, loved you, spoiled you. Why did you destroy us?" With nothing left to hide, Lin Nuo sneered. "No remorse. No guilt. Love me? You only used me to get rid of Xinyan. You were always thinking about him. Your love was fake. If you're gonna make me miserable, I'll take you down with me." That shattered Su Qingyuan's last illusion. She finally saw the truth. Years of favoritism and sacrifice had only raised a vicious, ungrateful snake, and that was only the beginning. Years of regret, anxiety, and depression, combined with her ruined career, broke Su Qingyuan's health completely. Insomnia, heart palpitations, deep depression. She was diagnosed with severe organ failure. Her body decayed quickly. No cure could save her. The once proud, fierce eldest sister lay in bed, growing thinner every day, tormented endlessly by her choices. On her deathbed, she held Suwan's hand. Tears streamed down her face. Her words came out as sobs, drenched in regret. "The only thing I regret in this life is slapping Yan on his 18th birthday. I was blind. I threw away the best brother and raised a monster. I want to see him one last time, apologize properly, but I know I don't deserve it." Su Qingyuan died with that regret in her heart. She never got my forgiveness, never saw me again. With her gone, the family fell further. Lin Nuo's crimes grew worse: financial fraud, identity theft. The law finally caught up with him. He was convicted and imprisoned. His life was ruined, completely. The Su family fell to pieces. Broken home, broken lives, everything lost. But I had already left all that behind. 6 months later, I led my team to solve the final core medical research problem. We filled a gap in the country's medical field. I received the highest national scientific award, standing on the stage, in the spotlight, at the peak of my career. Applause roared beneath me. Lights blazed. I stood tall, calm, and clear-eyed. All the old suffering, the patience, the hopes, they'd become the strength that carried me here. Someone once asked me privately, did I regret the loss of family? Did I ever wish I hadn't cut ties? My answer was simple, honest, and final. I have no regrets. I gave my heart to people who threw it away. Now I stand at the top, and the past is just the past. Their suffering is the result of their choices. My life has moved on, toward light and freedom. No chains hold me anymore. All the love and hate, over. All ties severed. The wrong people stayed in the past. I walk toward my own brilliant future.